Hey everyone, Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. So in a previous video, I did a review of Fair Play, which was a film I watched as part of the Sundance Film Festival virtual screening option. If you haven't watched that video, I'll share a link in the description below. I've been watching quite a few films as part of this virtual option that Sundance offers, and so I'll be sharing these reviews on my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about a film called A Little Prayer. The film comes from writer-director Angus MacLachlan, who's probably best known for writing the screenplay for the 2005 film Junebug, which starred Amy Adams. With A Little Prayer, MacLachlan is once again telling the story of a Southern family. The film stars David Strathairn as Bill, a man who suspects his son is having an affair at work. Bill doesn't want to meddle in his son's life because he adores his daughter-in-law Tammy, played by Levy, and he's torn as to what he should do. Before I get into the review, if you'd like to support the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos I'm posting. A Little Prayer is a heartwarming and thoughtful film about a Southern family that has its fair share of problems. It's a film that has a number of powerful scenes and some really strong performances, but it's also a film that is very uneven. This is a film that is exploring a lot of different relationships within this family framework. It's exploring the relationship between a father-in-law and his daughter-in-law, and the bond that they have and how well they get along. It's also exploring the relationship between a father and his son and what happens when that relationship becomes a little strained. It's exploring a relationship between a husband and a wife in multiple ways, and it's exploring the relationship between parents and their children and what happens when those children are no longer kids and now they're adults, and what role does the parent play in their child's life, again, when they're no longer a child and they're now an adult. This film has a lot to say about family, about life, about relationships. And as I said, it does have some really powerful scenes, and there's some really quiet, thoughtful moments in this film. And then there are moments that kind of fall flat. And when I say this film is uneven, what I mean is there are times where this film kind of strays into, I would say, sort of the melodramatic soap opera territory, and that really weakens the film. When it stays focused, this film is fantastic. This film has some really strong performances, particularly from David Strathairn and Levy. These two really are the standouts in this movie, and they really are the two that hold this film together because their characters are probably the most compelling out of all the characters in the film. And Strathairn has this empathy in his performance, especially when he's dealing with his son's infidelity. And then Levy is fantastic as this woman who is in this relationship, and the relationship is a lot more complicated than it seems on the surface. Anna Camp is also in this movie, and she does a good job with her performance as well. Her character is mostly used as comic relief, which isn't necessarily a problem. The only issue is that sometimes the one-liners, the jokes that she's given don't quite land. I really wouldn't fault her on that. It's mostly the writing and the direction, but she's good as well. So I liked A Little Prayer. I didn't love it. It's a film that, again, I think the biggest weakness with this film is that it was uneven at times. It didn't quite know what it wanted to do with the characters. It didn't quite know what tone it wanted to strike with the story. And it had some powerful moments and some really great performances, but those were cheapened by it not really being focused in terms of the story. I did like that it was exploring these different ideas and these different relationships through the lens of a Southern family. That was a nice change of pace. But you know, it is a well-made film. It just wasn't one that really stood out to me. So those are my thoughts on A Little Prayer. As I said before, I'll be sharing more reviews from films that I'm watching from the Sundance Film Festival as part of the virtual screening. So look for those in the coming days. While you're here, like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.